So we are here to talk about Aliens, Colonial Marines. Please introduce yourself.
I'm Matt Powers. I'm the senior producer on Aliens, Colonial Marines.
The first, I think, question is how close by the spirit the game to a film?
Well, it's very important for us. We're huge fans of the film, and we think the film is awesome, Aliens. So we really wanted to be capture the essence. And so we talked to 20th Century Fox, and they're allowing us, we are making the true sequel to Aliens. So that planet LV-426, that's where it all started with the derelict and that movie. So we're going back to that planet to find out what's going on there now. So we're trying to be as authentic as possible.
So it will be like in old good times when you come with the friends with a beer or coke and sit in front of the TV, playing the game this time, not watching the movie.
Yeah, well, that's the idea. I mean, we watched that movie. It's still great today, yeah. And so now, but you want more, right? So now you can play it and be a Marine yourself and fight Xenos and fight Weyland-Yutani forces and use all the different weapons. So yeah, just like the movie, but better. Well, I don't know, better.
Will there be a huge guy with a huge gun?
There are, yes, there are big people and big guns, right? Weapons are so important as a Marine. So you have all the different ones, the pulse rifle, the smart gun, rocket launchers, shotguns, pistols, and then you can upgrade your weapons as well.
In the game aspect, there will be a co-op.
Yes. So the game has the single-player campaign. You also could have up to 4-player co-op. So at any time, your friends can jump in or jump out and play the game together. Also, there's a competitive multiplayer. So great modes all over the place.
Another question about co-op. Will there be like roles for the players?
Well, in the co-op game, so if someone joins you and plays with you, the difficulty will change some. So there may be more enemies and they'll be more difficult. But also for each mission, there's certain things that you do as a co-op team. So, for example, you can revive your friend if they get hurt. You can give them ammo. There's some missions where one person has to turn the power while the other person opens the door. So we want to make sure that people have to work together.
Any design aspects that you worked on and they really enjoyed? I think you worked with a lot of materials from original films.
Yeah, well, one of the cool things is we were able to work with Sid Mead. And Sid Mead has been around for a while. I mean, he's a famous futurist. He designed the light cycle in Tron, did all the concept work for Blade Runner, and he did all the concept work for Aliens. So he designed what the spaceship looks like, what are the weapons like, what is the colony at Hadley's Hope. So when we spoke to him, we got access to all his concepts and designs. So we're able to capture the look and feel just like from the movie.
Can you tell something about multiplayer? Which modes or something like that?
Well, unfortunately right now, I'd love to because I think the multiplayer is going to be really great, but right now haven't announced it, so y'all just have to wait.
Okay, and about the campaign, how long will it take? Some key points?
Well, certainly the story is a very important aspect of the game, and we're trying to tell more of the story. Tell you more about Weyland-Yutani and the Xenos. The amount of time in the game, there's no fixed time right now. I mean, it's important for us to have a really great game, engaging story, for the player to have a great time by themselves or with friends or online. So it should be more than enough game.
Will players find some Easter eggs or cameos from movies?
Oh yeah, that's so cool because we've been watching this movie so many times. There's so many parts in that movie when you're down on Hadley's Hope that you can go back to and see again. For example, in the movie, there's the part where the Vasquez blows herself up in the vent. So as a player, one part of the game, you can crawl through the vent and find that explosion and find Vasquez's dog tags. Or where the hole in the ground where they're trying to get Newt out and they open up the hole, but the alien captures Newt. So you'll walk down the hallway and you'll find that exact spot. So many references to the movie.
We heard that the campaign will be, the game is a tactical shooter and you can control your opponents. Is it right?
Actually, no, it's not a squad-based game. So you do certainly have other Marines with you. So, I mean, some of the key things from the movie that I think are important are one's action, and then tension and scary is in there. But also you're playing as part of a Marine squad. So you do have other Marines with you, they have their own personalities, but you don't control them.
Will be there like lone hero moments where you stand alone against all the xenomorphs you can find.
Yes, so certainly there'll be times when you're with one squad mate or more than one, and then sometimes when you're by yourself, which is probably the most scary times, when you're walking down these dark hallways and they're just shadows, and then your motion sensor starts beeping, and you're like, oh, there's Xenos coming, and I'm all by myself. So yeah, there'll be a little bit of everything.
And motion sensor, in a co-op game, will everybody have the motion sensor, or it will be just one player?
No, everybody has the motion sensor, and in the co-op, it's especially important to work together. So in the single player, you may be walking down these hallways, and you come to a junction. And in single player, you'll get the motion sensor, but the aliens may only come from one direction. But in co-op, maybe they'll come from more than one direction. So everybody could use their motion sensor, but who's going to shoot? So if you want to work with a team, you have one person with a motion sensor, and he's saying, okay, you watch that hallway, you watch that hallway, so you can all work together.
Will be the difficulty categories, like easy, super hard, real movie?
Yeah. So I know you would be super hard because you're so good. But for some people, they'd have to play on easy. So we have different difficulties to suit each gamer.
Will it... what will depend from the difficulty? Number of enemies, toughness, or what?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I mean, we're still tuning it. You know, we're not finished yet. And the important thing is we want to make sure that the players are challenged enough. But again, if it's too hard, you can just adjust it.
What else?
No problem. Well, some of the things we didn't mention, just to make sure everyone knows that it's going to be an Xbox 360, PS3, Wii U, and the PC. It'll be out next year. It's specific I can get. Also, we'll be localizing it in Russian and Polish and Czech, and it'll be out the same time in Russia as everywhere else. So the same day I can buy it in California, you'll be able to buy it in Russia in Russian. So we think that's very important because we know there's lots of fans in Russia, and we want to make sure it's only fair to them. They get it the same day as everybody else.
And a few words about Wii U and I think PlayStation Move. Will they be compatible?
Right now we're not planning on a PlayStation Move. That still is a possibility, but certainly the Wii U is fairly exciting because of that new controller. So there's a lot of neat things we might be able to do with that, and we're still playing around with it. So, but I'm looking forward to working on that some more.
Maybe a motion sensor on a Wii U screen.
Yeah, there's a good idea, yeah.
And you can play? Yeah, I think it would be a great idea.
Yeah, and you move it around and the motion sensor moves with you.
Yeah, something like this.
Yep.
So, can you tell something about the main character?
Well, the main character is you, right? And there is a name, but the story, you know, as a Marine, each of the other Marines has more of a backstory and personality, but we want to make sure that your character is who you are. So you bring the personality, and you can upgrade and personalize. You can add your own attachments to your uniform, and maybe get your own emblem on your chest plate if you want. So it's important for us to make it feel like you're one of the Marines.
It will be available in single player or in multiplayer.
Actually, one of the things we're really working hard on is, so as you're playing the game, in any of the modes, you gain these points. And you can use those points to upgrade your weapons. So you can get a new scope, a more powerful scope, or on your rifle you can add a grenade launcher attachment. So you could do that, let's say in single player. You grabbed a pistol and you upgrade it to make it more powerful. Then you put a scope on your pistol. Then when you play co-op with your friends, you still have your pistol. And your friends won't have it maybe. Or when you play multiplayer and you get a really cool shotgun, then you can go back and play single player again with the shotgun you have. So we share most of the upgrades between the different game modes.
Will aliens have some kind of tactics? Because in a movie nobody believed that they are sentient and for real they've got some...
They're animals, right? It's important. Again, Xenos are such a cool creature, and they're smart and they're powerful. And so we've been working really hard to make sure we capture that and give that to the players. So you'll notice that they work together sometimes, and sometimes they will hide and crawl through the vents, or they'll surprise you, or while one Xeno might be here, the other one's maybe sneaking up behind you. So it's important to not only show they're intelligent, but they work together.
That's really great. I think every fan will gladly play this game. So maybe you can say something else about the game.
Well, one of the things that you don't see in the demo that I always like to point out is the demo hopefully shows you that we're making it on track and there's some cool stuff. but it doesn't always show you all the tension, because Aliens is also scary, not only action. So, you know, having the new lighter renderer from Gearbox, the deferred renderer, allows us to do more with lights and shadows. So it's important as you're walking down these hallways and maybe your motion sensor is beeping, it's that shadow. You thought it was just the wall, it's a Xeno, and he crawls off the wall. Maybe then disappears in a vent, but he might come back from behind you. So it's a balance between those tension, scary, action, exploration, also learning the story. You also fight Weyland-Yutani soldiers, so it's not always just Xenos. It's also fighting some humans as well.
Well, I think I've got all the questions prepared. So,
well, just for everybody, you know, we're all big fans of Aliens, and it's important for us to make a game that really captures the essence of it. And there's so much cool stuff about this movie, and it's a pleasure for us to be able to work on something like this. And we're doing it for all the fans, not only fans of playing games, but fans of Aliens. So hopefully everyone will really enjoy it.
So, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was Aliens Colonial Marines, and game will be released when?
Next year.
Next year. Yeah. Great. Thank